Hello and welcome to the first Railway Dogcast of 2026. We're joined by Tony from Hentis Rail.
Hello.
And we're really chuffed to have Matt from the Southerner, the YouTube channel.
Whatever flows off the tongue easiest. Yeah. It's honestly...
How did you come by the name The Southerner?
It was a bit of a strange one because I've had various aliases over the years for the channel, and I remember I had the last one I had before this was just ridiculous. It was overcomplicated. It was far too long. And if you're out in the field with someone and they came up to you and was like, "Oh, so how would I find you online?" It's like second-hand embarrassment of like, "Oh, I don't really want to have to tell you because it's too awkward to say." So I thought, well, I've got to get something that rolls off the tongue. And originally it was going to be The Southern Enthusiast. But again, I thought that's still just a bit too long. And I've got friends in the north who, joke with me. I was like, "Oh, you're a Southerner, aren't you?" And I was like, "Actually, you know what? You've hit the nail on the head. It works perfectly."
Yeah.
So really, I should pay them a bit of a sort of finders for that, for sort of helping me get to the name. But it was very handy to have because it just rolls off the tongue. Someone says, "Oh, so where do you upload your stuff? On YouTube? Oh, what's your channel?" "I'm The Southerner." It was just nice, nice flow
Absolutely.
to it. And as well, it can't really be mistaken for being something else.
Yeah.
So it just helped, I'm not sure if it's going to be a word, but the findability online, which it's very helpful.
I had a good look on your channel the last few days, and I've got to say you're sickeningly good. You're very good.
That's very flattering.
No, you
so
are.
annoying.
I mean, there's nothing worse than, so it's like you said, saying to someone, "Oh yeah, I'm Matt, 55, 49, 425 at YouTube."
Oh gosh, yeah, because I've seen it a couple of times where you're standing next to someone who's got a video camera, you ask them their name, and it's horrible. It sounds very big-headed of me, but as soon as they've said their name, I'm like, yeah, there's no way I'm going to remember that.
Yeah.
There's no way. And so then you sort of get that sort of reassurance in your own name of going, well, people can remember my one. So one of the rules that I remember very, very early on in sort of the name change process, I remember seeing a video on YouTube. It was talking about like behind the scenes and how best to manage a channel. And one of the things that they said was like, don't put numbers in your name because it makes it 10 times harder to remember.
Yeah.
For someone else who's heard it for the first time.
That's really interesting. I hadn't thought about that.
Yeah, and so it was that was also part of the driving factor of like, right, get the numbers out, try and keep it to words, and then try and make it something simple that people can remember. So if you say it in a noisy environment, which railways can be, it wasn't going to be confused for something else.
Yeah. So when did you start your YouTube channel?
Oh gosh, the first channel I started must have been, hello mate, 2011 or 2012.
Oh wow.
It didn't last for very long. People at school found it, and this day and age, unfortunately, this hobby is not seen as something very cool, and so that channel closed quite quickly. Yeah. The current one, I think I started it March 2013. Again, people at school found it, but I sort of then did some like soft reboot of it in I think the December, where it sort of became a lot more in line with how it's become now. It was sort of dropping any talking, trying to more focus on the subject matter at hand. So the soft reboot in December is sort of my day of that's the day I sort of...
One thing I like about your videos, and I think it's quite distinctive, is your little cutaways. Because I was watching, like I said, I was watching some this morning, and your little cutaways, and you've done the soundtrack. You've obviously taken a lot of time cutting and pasting and dropping sounds in.
I can't take credit for the idea. I've shamelessly nicked it from a friend of mine. Because I never used to do it, especially not to the degree that I do it now. But quick shout out to my friend Chris from Speed to the West. I grew up sort of as I was trying to refine the channel, as I was getting more seriously into it. You do sort of you look at everyone else and what they're doing. I know comparison is the thief of joy, but equally, it's great inspiration. And you look at what everyone else is doing,
Definitely.
and I saw how Chris was forming his videos and letting the sound build in the background through these establishing shots, and sort of coming to the terms of that it helped place the shot because it meant you could include so much more audio. While also setting the scene of where you are and making it not just about the railways, but about its setting, about the beautiful surroundings. I mean, Isle of Purbeck and its gorgeous rolling hills, or if you're up in the Keighley and Worth Valley and there's all the lovely infrastructure up in the north. It just allowed to capture a little bit more while also allowing the audio to fill and allow the shot to be a bit more fleshed out. So yeah, I can't take the credit for it, but
I love it. It's great. So do you plan that or research that, or do you arrive at your location and then you think, oh, I can take those bits and put something together, or is it all pre-planned?
It's the location choice is always just down to, is it likely to be on the power? Is it going to look good? Is it what's the light going to be like? And obviously it can all fall apart when you get there. So it might have grown up in the last 6 months and suddenly you can't see the railway at all. But no, it's the B-roll is definitely the afterthought. It is turn up, set up. I might be 15 minutes ahead of where the train is, and I'll be thinking, right, look at the scene in front of you. What can I take for the B-roll? What's going to look nice? So if you've got pretty flowers down on your left-hand side, you go, okay, we'll take a close-up shot of that. I don't know, if the trees as they overarch and they create this almost like perfect frame, that's another little thing you can do. But no, it's definitely the afterthought. It's turn up and hope that there's something good for the establishing shot rather than letting it be the
But
driving
you've certainly got an eye
focus.
for it. So
Thank you. That's really kind. Thank you.
No, it's
I mean, I think after a while you get used to doing it, and it just becomes the norm sort of thing.
Yeah.
And I mean, I've definitely sort of tried doing that to a degree, but I'm more of a turn up 10 minutes and it's here sort of thing.
Yeah.
But sometimes it's just like, if it's not on like a station shot, you get kind of more time in your surroundings because you tend to get there a little bit more earlier than in theory the normal plans. Yeah, he's not going to happen. He's going to go, yeah, I want my treat now. That's not going to happen, he says. Give me my treat and I'll go. But there he is.
Oh, Yoshi.
Yeah.
Beautiful dog.
right. Go over there.
That's it. Oh.
It's like, I'm happy now. That's it. I won't disturb you until that's
Until
gone.
that's gone. Yeah. So how long does it take you to put all this stuff together?
Oh, gosh. I mean, if we take into account the planning aspect of it all. So, as a more extreme example, if we look at Strictly Bullied last year, it's a fantastic event, but I was very fortunate in sort of the run up to it. I was getting little drip feeds of information from the railway of what might be coming, and if it is coming, what they're looking to hopefully do with the locos. And so then it's sort of that's where the sort of planning begins. You're like, okay, if you're going to do that with the timetable, where am I wanting to go? What time of day is this going to be? Where is it going to look best? Where can I try and get around it? And it was such a, sorry, for the railway itself, it was a Leviathan effort. Absolute. I did not want to be the man on the planning committee, and they have my utmost respect, but certainly not my envy. But on the other side, you're looking at the timetable, and for 3 days going, where the hell can I go? What is going to work? And also then trying to manage, well, I think that spot's going to be too busy. Yeah. If I'm turning up late for that spot, I'm fighting people for the space. So where might be able to turn up last minute, or what shot might I have to sacrifice in order to successfully get this shot out of the day? And to then do 3 days of that on the bounce, actually it was 5 days, I think, because I'd filmed British India Line arriving, then it was Strictly D-Day, then straight into 3 days of the gala. Monday morning, I was gone. I knew British India Line was leaving, and I knew that it was facing the right way up the Southwest Main Line, but I just did not have the energy to go out and see that. I was gone. But then so begins the editing process, because suddenly I've got 3 days of footage from the gala that now all needs sequencing, and looking at it going, right, well, all of the Friday shots, use that as a framework, and then, well, I filmed that run again on the Saturday in a different place, so edit that and then slotting it in and doing. It took a whole day to edit that video.
I'm not surprised.
It was
Well, I'm surprised
painful.
actually you got it in a day, because you obviously give it a lot more care and consideration than I do when I edit any of my videos.
Yeah.
It was one of those events which was such a pleasure to be at, such a joy to film, and as well, great friends around me during, and some very funny moments behind the camera. But once it was done and the dust had settled, there was such a relief as well. It was like, thank gosh, I can take my foot off the pedal now. I can just give myself a day and actually try and recuperate, because I was so tired going into the following week. So,
has it ever been so tiring that you've got to the point that I don't want to do this anymore, or have you always got an innate love of what you do?
it is a love-hate relationship. It absolutely is. Friends behind the camera can confirm there has been plenty of times where I've said, no, I've got to stop. I've got to slow this down.
Yeah.
I'm doing too much. It does stress me out as well when things aren't going your way. You've planned a whole day and shot after shot is just not working. You do start to wonder, why am I doing this? I could be in the warm. I could be home knitting and I'll be nice and cozy. I could be in front of a fire in a pub. But no, I'm in the cold, next to the River Dart, with a freezing wind blowing right through all 4 layers that I'm wearing. Why am I doing this? But then,
It's dedication.
yeah, you go through it, you're dedicated to it, and then the next time you go out, it might actually go your way, and then suddenly you go, okay, maybe this is actually, I do enjoy this. You remind yourself you do enjoy it. There's just every now and then the days which don't line up, and they can be very frustrating.
Yeah. But you always seem to get something out of your trips,
thank you.
I guess.
If anything, experience and a learning curve.
Right.
There's been a few days where I've walked away from them. I've been dreadfully disappointed with what I've walked away with. I've still had to put it online because it's a record of the day.
Yeah.
And so for my own sort of digital memory bank, it's nice to have a record of that.
Yeah.
But then I look at other people's photos, look at other people's videos, work out where they were at certain times, where the light was, did it work, was the loco on the power, things, and then make mental notes that should something happen again, I know what to do.
Are you your worst critic? Your own worst
Probably,
critic? Yeah.
Are you your worst critic?
Nah.
I am.
No. Yoshi.
Oh, Yoshi's,
far
yeah.
more.
His little classy one-liners.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can imagine what he says, but
I do have a workable example of that. There was in 2019, Clanline did Atlantic Coast Express tour, Salisbury, Exeter, back round to Bristol and back to London, and the day just did not work for me. I walked away. I had 4 shots from the day. I was really disappointed with what I came away with, and saw other people's videos, other people's photos, and they had so much better results out of it. The burning jealousy, but you grit your teeth and go, right, well, next time they do it, be on the ball.
Yeah.
They announced a run for 2022, and it gave me the opportunity to put what I'd learned then into action. And I think I walked away from that day with 6 shots where the loco was consistently either flying along or on the power, the light was where I wanted it to be, and it was all because 3 years earlier it had gone so badly wrong for me.
Yeah.
That it was then put the effort in and go, right, well, make it work now. You've had that exact run with that loco on a sunny day, you now know what to do.
I think that 2019 run was actually, because I don't know about you, but over the years I've come and gone with the railways. So I've had sessions where live it, and then I've had years where other things have come along and you follow things. But 2019, that Clanline run, I think, was my return to loving the railways again. And I remember taking him down to the West Country, following Clan Line.
Yeah.
I don't think I ever put the footage up on YouTube, so I'll have to dig that out.
Well, please do.
Yeah, yeah.
Please do.
So, taking you right back, how did you discover your love for railways?
Oh, now that's a cocktail of factors. Well, obviously it helps when your parent, my dad, is a railway enthusiast.
It's in the blood.
It's in the blood. He was born in '68, so by the time of sort of the swan song of the 33 ones working Bournemouth to Weymouth services, that was his bread and butter. That was how he killed an afternoon.
Yeah.
He was going between Poole and Bournemouth on the 33s. And I remember him relaying a story to me where he only had like one return ticket and he spent a day going between Poole and Bournemouth until the station staff at Bournemouth started cottoning on because they'd seen him and a friend of his a couple of times and they realised what he was doing. In which case, hide on the train, get back to Poole and get off again. So yeah, having a dad who's very much into it helped.
Yeah.
Having such a wonderful heritage railway on the doorstep helped. Because I remember sort of Saturdays as I was growing up, the Saturday was sort of formed of go shopping with my dad in the morning, take some shopping round to see my grandma, who's unfortunately now passed away. But after that, we'd find ourselves with a free afternoon and my dad would ask me, well, what do you want to do? I want to go out Swanage.
Yeah.
That's what I wanted to do. So a lot of my Saturdays were spent going to Swanage and just watching the trains. But on the other side of this, I don't know if you'll remember, do you remember the video store that used to be in Poole, where the Cornish Pasty House is now?
Yeah.
Right next to the railway crossing.
Yeah.
So when I was really young, sort of my treat for going out with my parents and doing shopping was, right, we can go to the video store and choose a video. And so every time we did this, I would come home with a new VHS tape, stick it straight in the VCR, and that's how it would sort of keep me quiet for an evening, was stick his videotapes on and you can just sit there and watch. And it was a real window into the wider world of railways beyond the doorstep of Dorset, where obviously if it wasn't going through Poole, I had no idea about it. Suddenly I'm sort of transported, not just across this country, but across the world, and I'm looking at it through what was a box television with an inbuilt VCR, but it was a nice window out into the wider world. And some of the views that I saw on that were a driving factor in me picking up a video camera, because you'd see something, you go, no, I want to go and get that.
Yeah.
I want to see it.
Yeah.
And one of the ones that really sticks with me, and I cannot fathom now exactly where it was. It looked like it was in North America, where there was this freight train circling its way through snow-covered mountains. And I can so vividly remember that, and it's sort of, again, the burning passion of, I want to go and film Steam in the Snow. I want to go and see this kind of thing. Eventually it came to fruition. Keighley-on-Worth Valley Gala 2023, 3 days of gorgeous snowfall and, yeah, really, really enjoyable event. But yeah, it was that kind of motivation, and then sort of I don't just want to see it, I want to go and live it. It became such a driving factor in sort of me picking up the video camera and going and doing it.
So did you have a video camera in the family?
My dad did. He used to sort of document me and my brother growing up.
Yeah.
He did make like home videos of us growing up and some of like the birthdays, Christmases and things. And I think I first picked that up when I was around either 9 or 10.
Yeah.
And then it just all got out of hand from there.
Fantastic.
Yeah, it's just spiraled.
Yeah. So have you had many video cameras during your YouTube career? Or have you stuck with?
So I started with I'm going to butcher the name of this. It was a Toshiba Cameleo S30, which was this little handheld flip-out screen thing. And when I got it, I thought it was the best thing in the world. But it was my first video camera. Quality was not there at all. but again, it was the beginning step of then, okay, right, well, it's a foot in the door, and it's only when you've got something like that do you then know what direction you want to go in. So the next one I had was a Panasonic V500, and it was a massive step forward, but it wasn't. Again, it was great for a while, and then you look at other people's videos and go, but there's a clearer, there's a smoother and better picture quality, and so you go, right, well then it's the next step up. I only stopped using that camera when it died. My brother had a V550 going spare, and begged and pleaded with him on an afternoon, because I'd come home from Swanage, and this was after the preview day of the Diesel Gala, either 2018, 2017, 2018. And that's when the V500 had just gone bust. And I knew that he had the V550 under his bed and the Diesel Gala starting the next day. Yeah. I was like, James, please, can I use this just for this gala and I'll sort myself out? He's like, well, I just don't use it at all, so you might as well have it. Thanks, James. Kept the ball rolling, kept me going out. But then again, sort of the driving factor behind that was you could only use that with the inbuilt microphone. And I was like, right, well, I could hear, again, friends like Speed to the West, his dedication to the sound recording as well, and then listening back to mine, and I was like, it's not good enough. I need to go further. So then upgrading up the Panasonic range to a camera which could have an external microphone. And I think it was a V770. Great camera, very versatile, not 100% durable, as I found out in certain weathers. I think I ended up using 3 of them at different times, because after a few spells out in the rain, they didn't fare well. No. And in the end, I think it was March 2022, somewhere around that time, the one that I was using at the time, which was at that point the only working one, finally packed up completely. You'd open the screen, turn it on, it was blurry with a massive exclamation mark, and it was like, yeah, now this is gone. At the time, I'd been toying with going the full way and upgrading as far as feasibly possible to Panasonic, whatever they call it, but it's the 1500. And it was a lot of money, and I at the time felt I couldn't justify it. But by this time, I'd sort of built a friendship with the people who I'd been following on YouTube for years, Chris being one of them. And he talked me into a different way of thinking about it. So you can't view that kind of thing as an expense. You're going to go out and you're going to film these things anyway. So you might as well make, as best as you can with it, view it as an investment. Because it's going to take you that bit further, and it's going to allow you a lot greater flexibility in terms of then what you're making. So if you just view it as an expense, you'll never see it as getting that money back. But if you do view it as an investment, you are constantly getting that money back tenfold. And when he said it to me like that, I was like, yeah, you make a very good point. And so suddenly I ended up with a 1500, which I've been using now for, since March 2022. And it's paid me back tenfold in what I've been able to do with it. So yeah.
What sort of things were you filming when you were 9?
Oh gosh, pretty much anything and everything. Just around the house, like trying to sort of mimic what my dad was doing with the sort of home videos. At the time, I didn't know how to upload anything to YouTube, so it was just stupid little clips of back of the camera. Never see the light of day. Yeah.
Do you still have all that stuff backed up somewhere? Or?
I don't. My dad might, but I don't. I don't even have the backup files for my early videos that went on YouTube.
Really?
Because at the time I didn't think to.
No. Same here.
It's very similar. When Jamie Smith was on here and he was saying like he used to trade the photos for sweets and things, you don't think that at some point it might actually be relevant to have kept something.
Yeah.
Until I went to look back through my archive after I deleted a lot of the raw footage and went, oh, Matt, you idiot.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that
I
was
think we've all done it.
painful.
Yeah.
That was painful. And so since 2020, I have kept every single raw video file on an annual dedicated expansion drive.
Yeah.
So yeah, every clip, every piece of B-roll, everything from 2020 till now, I have. Anything beforehand is a little bit sketchy, and certainly anything before 2016 doesn't exist, which is painful, but live and learn.
Yeah.
I have a lot of footage backed up onto DVD now.
Oh yeah.
From I think it was about 2007, but they unfortunately, the very early ones are actually the videos that I produced from the footage. I don't actually have any of that, but it's then basically the stuff after that I thought could really do with backing this up.
Yeah.
But back then, when it was all on high 8 digitape, you couldn't get, or I couldn't get, a way to transfer it onto CD. It was only until literally I was filming off of a memory stick that you could actually back it up. So that's on a 8 terabyte drive at the moment. So
We're going to try something different this time. So we've got a tin there. It used to have fudge in it, but I've eaten it all. So thank you to Chris and Gordon for the fudge in the tin. If you open the cab up, take the top off the top. Brilliant. There's some questions in there. So if you want to pick one, Matt, and we'll go through those.
okay,
Is it a random, yeah?
Random one, yeah. Yeah.
So what, Tony, pick a card, any card.
there we go.
That one.
Right, there you
Which
go.
one does that say? Do you have a favourite locomotive or class of locomotive? Well, as the name would suggest, I've got a bit of a preference for the Southern machines. That's not to say that I don't like things from other regions. When I'm standing with friends who do have preferences from other regions, obviously it's nice to rib against them and try and make them regret their decisions. But it is a tough one because I think a lot of my preferences can be traced back to growing up at Swanage.
Yeah.
So naturally seeing Manston, Eddystone, 257 Squadron, I do have a love affair with the Bully Pacifics. But equally, I absolutely adore the M7 tanks. I think they're gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous machines. So it's very hard to absolutely pin it down. But it does seem more often than not a Bullied can sway me into going to an event. So I'd have to say.
So if you had 2 events on the same weekend and one had a Bullied, that would...
Well, I mean, we've just had this weekend gone where we had the Severn Valley Winter Gala, South Devon Winter Gala, and the Winter Warm-Up at Swanage. I did 2 days at Swanage. So that, probably shows you where my allegiances lie. So, yeah, a Bully Pacific can very easily sway me.
I don't blame you.
Yeah.
Okay, just on the add-on to that, what would your favourite non-steam loco would be?
So I'm going to do this slightly different in terms of when Swanage are announcing their Diesel Gala lineup and what you're hoping to see versus when they announce something and sort of like oh no, that's tasty, that's a good one to have. See, growing up at Swanage, still 33s are very high on the list, and the 33-111 I've had so many wonderful runs with that it's absolutely cemented its position for me as the 33s are such a high level for me. But I do love a Deltic.
Yeah.
The thunderous roar. I can remember, I think, was it 2011 or 2012 where we had Alicidon in 2-tone green. And this was before I used to film the event, so I would actually be on the trains more than not. And I remember getting off of a train that had just pulled into Swanage, walking down next to the loco, and I couldn't hear my dad, who was stood right next to me. But because it's got such a distinctive roar to it, it stuck with me completely, and started a love affair with them that whenever they say, "Oh, we've got a Deltic coming," I'm going, "It's going to be a good event. It's going to be a good one."
My brother took me to King's Cross in 1977, probably the first time I got taken to King's Cross, and I could not sleep for days before because I was going to see a Delta. I was so excited.
It's true. I mean, the first time for me was when it came to Poole, and it was only an ECS. It was Tolya, and that's become my favourite Deltic. Because basically saw it at Poole. It was whizzing it down with rain. But, you know, as we got down, like, round the back of Berkeley Serpentine Road...
Was this when it worked the rail tour to Bournemouth?
That's it, yeah.
Yes. I've seen the photos from that day, and then when you look back through archives of various photos, the end of steam versus, you know, diesels and then the early preservation years, etc. I do sometimes feel I'm a bit unfortunate being on such the young side, because there's so much I missed, which I would give body parts to be able to go back and see and hear for myself. And a Deltic sitting under the canopy at Bournemouth is one of those things. And so I see photos from that day, and I hear stories from people saying about the driving rain on that day, and I'd love to have experienced that.
I think from my point of view, I'm not too sure with Andy, but from about the mid-80s, when I went to school at Harbin, it was the railways down there all the way through into the 90s. It was just epic, because we had such a change from, obviously, the push-pull 33-1s going into the 442s. And that was just, after that, it got a little bit boring, because then it was completely the slam doors and all the other electric stuff and the loss of the freight. You know, and it's all the time when we had the 47s, or sometimes if the 47 failed, you had double 33s on the Fursbrook tanks.
I'm right, I think the 47s worked the interregionals out of Poole.
Yeah.
Because my dad fondly talks about that, and he's very much similar boat to you, sort of looking back and sort of not liking the fact it's now got so sort of very... I don't know what the best word for it. Short of
dull.
Because he was like, we used to have the 33s, 47s working the interregionals, and I'd love to have seen it. But.
Yeah, I mean, Colin, who we interviewed before, he's actually compiled a list, or in the middle of compiling it, or nearly finished, I think, of every 47 of when it's come to Poole. The only ones that haven't been down at Poole, if I remember rightly, is 4 of them, and they were all scrapped, those ones. But every single 47 has come to Poole.
Wow.
That's an amazing statistic.
That is crazy, considering we've had every 58, every 60 as well. So, you know, the amount of stuff that we've had through here and how it is now. Back in the 80s, you know, you used to have a little bit of freight shunting around in the yard and everything. And I mean, that was just then when I was actually starting to get... My mum gave me a little Hanimex 110 camera, and I think one of the first shots I got was I was on my paper round. Always took my camera with me, and there was a 47. I just got the top of it, just going underneath Sturt footbridge, and it was had a fuel tank or two on the back of it, the little TTAs, the little 4-wheeled ones, and that was coming from Hamworthy. So,
See, I lived in Weymouth at this time, so didn't get a lot of this stuff. But we used to get the odd interregional, I suppose. But
summer Saturdays as well was good. You had 45s down there as well.
It was so much more interesting just up the line, I think.
Yeah. It was crazy. Those the like from the 80s for me all the way into about mid-90s, where I just like found something else to do, and it was really interesting. And then just like coming back in from 2000, where we were saying goodbye to the LPG trains, the stone trains and the scrap train stayed around for a few years, but that's all gone now.
Next question.
Oh. Would you mind picking a card? Any cards?
Oh, let's go for that one.
Okay.
I can't read it without my glasses.
Can you share any tips for filming videos? You can never do enough planning, ever. And again, leaning very much on a video which I've watched during sort of my formative years by Tomska, funny enough, who's the same one who mentioned about don't put numbers in the name. You're going to make a lot of bad stuff before you make anything that is vaguely okay. You're going to make a lot of okay stuff before you make anything that is good, and then you're going to make a lot of good stuff before you make anything that you would consider brilliant. It is just persistence. I mean, I've been uploading YouTube videos for 10 years, and at the back 10 years ago or so, I'd look back at a video at the time when I uploaded it, so 2015, I would have been very happy with what I uploaded. I now look back and I think, what was I doing? What was I thinking? Yeah, you do though, don't you? You look back at what you've done and you go, why did I do that? Why did I go to this place? What is this filming? What is the zooming out and the pan? It doesn't look great. Yeah. But it is just the persistence of just keep trying, keep refining, look at other people's videos as well, and take inspiration. You see how someone else pans, you see how they zoom with the camera and use the camera work to really amplify a shot. Then go and give it a go. I used to sort of, in my mind, have a real thing against zooming in during a shot. I thought, no, that's absolutely wrong thing to do. You should not zoom in during a shot. Then I saw someone do it, and it worked brilliantly. And I was like, I've been doing this wrong. And so then I thought, right, well, now I've got to give this a go. And it's things like down at, I think some people call it Rifle Range or Folly Park on the Severn Valley Railway. I always used to start that shot quite zoomed in, to then trace where the loco was going before starting to zoom out. And what this person had done was they'd started very wide to let the exhaust plume in the distance as part of the scenery. And then as it was coming around the curve, zoomed into it to then show its place in the scenery before tracing it round on a pan. And that was it, it just triggered my mind. I went, I hadn't thought that. I'd been so staunchly against zooming in during a shot. So 100%, one thing which I would recommend is look at what other people do, take notes for yourself, then go out and try it, because you're not going to make something perfect first time. Yeah. You can only persist, you can only try and just keep working at it. But if you go in at least with a list of things that you're going to try to do, you're going to walk away then with a lot more experience from that day of going, well, I tried this bit, that didn't work, but I tried this on a later shot and I was actually really happy with it. So then you go out again and go, well, I tried that before, so I'm going to do that again and make that work. And before you know it, you start refining and refining. And so, yeah, I think the only thing which I can really say is just keep trying.
Yeah, so
it's funny you say about the looking back on stuff, because when I digitise some of my stuff from the 80s and the 90s, I'm watching it, I'm saying, don't pan, don't zoom.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I have no memory of what I was doing.
Did you ever
at
have
that point,
the wobbly camera?
Oh, I've always got the wobbly camera.
Yeah, it's like,
yeah.
like that.
I mean,
You zoom
the great thing now is that you can straighten things up. You can, it's a doddle. Whereas when like Tony was saying about sticking things on your CDs and stuff back in the day, the editing was very, very basic, and you couldn't do this. But now you can straighten up home videos from the 1990s on your iPhone.
I mean, you don't
it's
realise
ridiculous.
This, but the camera is up like that at the moment, and it'll straighten it. Don't worry.
I'll turn it the right way up later. Stranger Things reference, we're in the upside down.
Aye.
Okay.
But it's funny you sort of mention like going through editing and what we can do now, because I don't know when this will air. I literally only this morning finished editing the Swanage video for winter warm-up.
For the past 2 days.
Yeah, and so I was like going through clip by clip and tweaking colours in the shadows and going, right, does this actually look right? Because the camera occasionally can make things look a lot greyer than it actually was. And so every single piece of B-roll, every clip, going through, tweaking it all and making sure it's like stable and it's absolutely level in, say, all the colour grading and everything. And yeah, it takes a long time, but it's the beauty of the modern equipment and modern software that we can do that.
See, I spent 10 minutes with a cup of coffee and a yogurt this morning doing my video from yesterday.
Oh, gosh.
See, I'm not in your class.
Oh, no. I think it's one of my bigger flaws with this is I do push myself to a point of exhaustion at times.
I don't think it's a flaw. I love that you invest so much time and effort into it. I think it's great, and again, it shows. I think when you're watching it back, it shows. And I say this morning I went down a Southerner rabbit hole on YouTube, and it was a joy to watch. And also I think, as you alluded to earlier, the mix of the sound works so well as well, and it draws you into it. And no, it's great.
Well, thank you very much. I need to say you flatter me. You really do.
Checks in the post.
My check. No.
Yeah, it's
basically, it's like we said earlier on. It's you start off and you think, what was I thinking of doing that? And then gradually through your own persistence and looking at other people's is how you basically, you get better. I mean, I'm just literally at a plateau sort of thing. It's just like, it is what it is. But then there'll be other stuff that I will be looking at other people's videos as well and see, oh, they did that, okay. And you do, one of the other things, like what you said, is look at other people's videos, is that you learn from them as well. So you're not only trying to better your experience, but you're also learning new things through watching other people's videos, thinking, well, they did that, surely I can do something like that. Maybe with a bigger camera or something, but yeah, it's constantly. I think, as with photography as well, it's constantly a learning experience.
Yeah, I mean, I'm very much a shove my phone on a tripod, pick the dog up, so he doesn't bark, and let it go through.
but you're still making the effort to go out and record it.
Yeah.
And where a lot of things in this hobby and sort of the wider preservation world are not guaranteed things to have forever.
Exactly. Yeah.
The fact you have made an effort to go out and see it is that's the bottom line. You've made an effort. You've got record of it, which I think is more important than making something that's absolutely cinematic or anything. You've made that effort, which I think is such an important thing as well, because
That's nice of you to say.
Oh,
I'm never going to be David Lean of the rest.
It's absolutely honest, because there's so many things as well going back which say I hate the fact I was not old enough to appreciate at the time it happened. So one loco which I absolutely regret not taking seriously when it was actually in Steam is Lord Nelson. It's one of my, at the moment, biggest regrets in this hobby is it's only up the road really in terms of now the travel distances that I do. It's at the Watercress line, and it was only withdrawn, what was it, back end of 2014? I don't have any clips of that I'm happy with. And it's on the bucket list of when that comes back, make the effort, make as much effort as needed, because I hate the fact I missed getting anything that I'm happy with of that in Steam, especially in its beautiful malachite livery. It's a regret I've had to learn to live with, but hopefully one day I can write that.
Yeah, let's hope so. Is she being going to get a ticket back, or?
There are people out there who will know a lot more about that than me.
We'll Google it later.
Yeah, and I don't want to put my foot in it if I've been told something that's not public knowledge.
Yep. Fair enough.
So,
I'm always doing that.
Yeah. Let's move on to the next question.
Absolutely. This one I'll do around that one. What can we expect from the Southerner YouTube channel? Expect next from the Southerner YouTube channel.
Other than Swanee's winter warm-up.
It'll be online soon, I hope. That's a very good question, because there's so many outfits, such as railways and places, which I've not yet done. And I've sort of got like this list of where I want to go, what I want to do, and sites that I really want to see. I'm slowly ticking it off, because to look where it's going next, it's probably easier to sort of look back first. So say back in sort of 2014, 2015, the channel never went outside of Dorset really, other than visits to Midhants or Bluebell, or if me and my dad had gone out on a day trip somewhere.
Yeah.
Even when I first learned to drive, I still didn't really register that there was a world beyond the Dorset doorstep. It wasn't until sort of halfway through 2018 that it clicked and go, there is no reason that I can't just go to Devon for the day. The roads are connected. Why don't I? And so then it became like this bigger thing of, right, we'll push further, go further, and seeing people's videos on YouTube and going, yeah, but that's not off limits to me. I could go up to Shap. I could do these things. So let's do it. Let's, let's actually make the go of it. So immediately what's next, I don't know. But it was only, say, from watching those kind of videos that pushed me as well into like going into Kent and down to Dover. And that's why when Eddystone got announced for going on the main line, one of the clips in my head which clicked of, if this happens, you have got to go and get it, was it coming round onto the sea wall at Dover. At the time, they had no sort of itinerary of what it might do, but it was, if that opportunity arises, you've got to do it. And by luck, it then worked the Armistice Steam Express. It goes round Dover, I get my shot, I'm very, very happy. I am looking at possibly, I really want to go up to Scotland. I've never gone north of the border, and I would love to go up and film the Jacobite on its route, Fort William to Mallaig. I'd love to as well actually do a week of the quiet services at North York Moors. So not pressures of a gala timetable, but actually then go walking down through the moors and find the places which you can't do during a gala because you can't get in and out fast enough. So I don't know exactly what will come next, but I do want to keep pushing and try some different things because there's so much I haven't seen. And so, yeah, hopefully, but obviously it's all money as well and travelling and
that's a pain.
Yeah.
But that's I've kind of found that sort of thing is just like I'm not limited now. Well, kind of I am, but if you know what I mean, I'm not limited, and I can, like, if I want to spend the night somewhere, just book a place and that's it, and I'll do a bit of night filming or photography or something like that elsewhere up country, and that's a good thing.
Yeah.
So,
but sounds like lots of exciting things to come.
Hopefully.
yes.
Hopefully. Do you have any unfulfilled ambitions or something you would love to film? So I've already covered Lord Nelson.
Yeah.
There's a couple of things which I would like to go back and do properly. Just a lot of it is loco specific. I do have a love affair with the Romney Highland Dymchurch Railway. I love the place. I don't have any clips I'm particularly happy with of locos 7 and 8. It's a Typhoon and Hurricane. Because everything I've got of them was filmed on my old camera. And so, like, that's one thing. Like, okay, well, when they're back in steam, I've got to make that effort. Got to go and rectify that. It's been on the list for a long time to try and get up to the Festiniog and the Welsh Highlands. Again, it's finding the time to do that properly. Because where those lines are at decent length, it's not just a turn up for a day and hope. It's you're looking at a couple of days of wrecking the line first before I can even really want to put an effort in. And it's finding the time amongst doing everything else and holding down full-time job and, you know, keeping my relationship afloat. That, yeah, I'm sure it will come in time, but it seems to be a bit of a fine balancing act at times, and sort of ticking things off as I get an opportunity rather than always pushing it to the front. Because yeah, there's a lot of things that I would like to do and a lot of things which I've not done yet, but hopefully in the course of time I will come round to it. Hopefully. And the Llangollen while I'm up that way, that would be nice. And so with Jamie going up that way.
Yeah.
I've already put a sort of like, would you mind awfully if I, crash with you
Yeah,
for
great
a
idea.
night?
Yeah.
He's been very, very accommodating already in that
Yeah.
respect. So hopefully, you never know, that might be the gateway that allows me to do it.
Yes. Yeah.
To which I'll put his check in the post as well.
Yeah.
So
That's a fantastic railways in that area. Yeah.
it's strange because I have been to that area. In that I've been to Snowdonia. I went up there with my mum and some friends of hers, and I climbed Mount Snowdon with my mum. It was a wonderful experience, but we went up the night before, stayed, did that, and the morning after then drove straight back.
Okay. Yeah.
And so going up there, and I was pausing all the time. I think in the end my mum was getting quite annoyed at me, bless her, because I was stopping to take photos of the mountain railway and go, oh, this would make a nice shot.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, if I get over here, I could do a nice shot of this as well. And sort of making the mental notes for one day, possibly doing a video on that. So, yeah, it was a nice free recce in that respect.
Yeah.
So, yeah, hopefully something I can tick off one day.
Brilliant.
Have you had or experienced any mishaps on the railways? Ooh. I have, on occasion, filmed things which I know I can't upload. Obviously, you don't want to get the railway into trouble, wherever you are. And so for this, in case someone official is watching, I won't say which railway this happened at. I will say that it was a gut-wrenching experience as someone who's passionate about the videos. I was at a railway. I was there with only 2 other people in this spot. They're good friends of mine. And we filmed this steam loco go up this gradient in gorgeous summer evening light. The whole loco was lit up golden. It was one of those bucket list shots of, I could not be happier with this. Of course, the screen on your camera is quite small. You can't necessarily see every detail. And it was only after the shot that one of my friends who was a photographer pulled us all aside and went, can't upload this. And I was like, what do you mean? What do you mean? And he showed us the back of his camera where he'd zoomed right in. I can't say what the crew were doing, but they were doing something that they really shouldn't have done. And had we uploaded those clips, we would have got that railway and then that crew in trouble.
Oh my gosh.
And so it was, right, yeah, this clip can never see the light of day.
Wow.
And so every now and then I dig it out and have a look at it for myself because, it was one of the times of really happy with the results. But yeah, and in that moment, it was like gut-wrenching. It was just 5 seconds in the middle of the clip, but the absolute middle of the clip, which just makes it not usable.
Unusual. You can't edit it out or it just won't work.
Not without it looking very clunky.
Yeah.
And I did try it and I just wasn't happy with the result.
Yeah.
So unfortunately that clip will never see the light of day, which is unfortunate, but
I'm
happens.
probably going to stay awake all night now wondering what it was.
When you've all gone to bed, I will tell these lovely gentlemen. But for the sake of not landing people in trouble,
Absolutely.
yes.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm very conscious these days, especially because I've heard stories about this kind of thing, and so it's only through that then I have to be careful. I've learned to be careful. Believe it or not, the ORR and other official bodies do keep an eye on what appears on YouTube, because it is a wonderful way for them to catch out when someone has done something they are not supposed to do. And the story that a friend of mine relayed to me involves a heritage railway that they volunteer at, where I think it was a week after a gala, they got a phone call. The general manager of the railway got the phone call and said, right, we have found this clip online. We know it takes place on this date. Who was driving? And obviously they have to surrender that information, and that driver received reprimands as a result.
Wow.
And so then you backpedal, you go, okay, if you film something that's speeding or you think the crew's doing something they aren't supposed to do, goes in the too hot for TV
Yeah.
folder. There's that can't see the light of day.
I'm not sure I pay that much attention.
I
Maybe I need to.
didn't used to
Yeah.
until a couple of years ago
Yeah.
when that was relayed to me. I went,
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah.
okay, because you don't think that the official bodies would keep an eye, but then you think about it,
It's great source material.
it's a great source material of a way of keeping people in check and chasing up after people have done the fact, because you can't argue with the evidence. It's there.
Yeah.
It's viewable for everyone. And so, yeah, it's... so you film a couple of things, you think, yeah, that's not going in the video.
I mean, there are some videos that do make the light of day, and one of them was like years ago, because I said to you when we were up there, I said, do you recognise that spot there? This was at the GCR, and it's where that steam loco came off at the catch points right outside the signal box where we were. And I can remember seeing that on Facebook, and then just like, I recognised the place, and I was just like, that's where it happened, sort of thing, you know?
It's a bit of a strange one, because during a gala where there are so many cameras around, it sometimes is a little bit different if that footage has already appeared online. And especially during a gala, if a crew, and this could happen at any railway, if a crew plays up for the cameras, well, they've done it in front of a gallery of people. Yeah. And if you're asking 20, 30 people to not post something online, inevitably one of those is likely to have done it first. So sometimes with some of these too hot for TV clips, before I publish a video, I'll have done 2 cuts of the video, one with that clip and one without. Go online, find, has anyone else actually uploaded a clip from that? You find 4 or 5 other people have, and you go, well, then it's not just me. And you feel a bit safer uploading the clip.
Good to go,
because other people have beaten you to that punch.
Yeah.
And so short of you messaging 5 people and saying, oh, no, you've got to take that out, but you don't have any authority in actually making them do that, you feel a little bit vindicated. You're like, well... you go with it after that. You're like, right, well, if consequences happen from this, then they did it in front of a gallery.
Yeah.
There's not much I can do about that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's certainly the GCR incident also sort of leads on to the other sort of an intriguing point. With the rise of sort of clickbait media on YouTube, it's becoming more common to see people trying to sort of boost their own personal profiles through the mishaps of railways and people. You see like compilations online of locomotives being mistreated, or like capital letters in the title, a loco wheel slips out of station.
Yeah.
You don't glorify it, because then it sort of snowballs, and the next person who sees that video does well then also does makes a massive point out of when a loco gets mistreated, and before you know it, YouTube has turned into this massive clickbait ball of just
it's there already.
troubled material that is going to get people in trouble.
It's changed so much over the last few years. You just see a lot of the videos on there. And it's just like, it just really is like clickbaity. And you're thinking, there's a lot of shorts, and I'm just like, you know, you see it, oh, I cannot believe he did this. And it's like, don't click it. Because it's just like, you know, from Poole, we always knew that most of the steam locos would always slip at Poole, because that's what they did. They always, going up the bank, they always had a banker, you know, but nowadays, why is it having that? Why is it doing this? Why is it slipping at Poole? And just like, oh, he's finished. You know? And you'll get the sensation of people that just want the views for it.
Yeah.
Just like, no. You get the one of the worst ones is the people that stand at the end of the platforms, or not stand at the end of the platforms, the edge of the platforms, wanting them to blow the horn, you know, and because I know that a certain company has told its drivers not to blow their horns for enthusiasts, and which is fair enough.
That's fair enough.
But you will get people literally just wanting that done, and then you'll get the amazing 10 tone from the driver of XXXX train, And it just gets annoying.
But then then it snowballs because they consider that the peak until the next driver does 12 and the next driver does
Yeah.
15.
Yeah,
And before you know
exactly.
it, someone's got in trouble because they've gone through a station doing 20 tones and
Yeah.
it all starts from. So the clickbait wave of riding on practices which aren't ideal and people making light of it. And then it does to a point, and I'm not saying it does happen in the industry, but occasionally you might get someone who then gets encouraged to do something they are not supposed to do because, oh, well, this person did 10 tones, so why is it a problem when I do 12 tones through a station? Because that guy shouldn't have done it
Don't
either,
do
but,
that, yeah.
Yeah.
it snowballs, and,
That is
It's-
one of the big problems, I think, because it's not so much also just related to the rail enthusiast industry. It's YouTube as a whole, I think.
yeah.
But
And-
that's down for them to sort that out.
Yeah, the rise of short form media hasn't really helped because where TikTok came in and people started these really short form clips, in itself the format's fine, but then it's the marketing of it as well, where people have sort of gone with the clickbait titles on the short clips, and then the fact that YouTube, Instagram and Facebook have all now geared themselves over to the short form videos as well, has created just a sort of doom scrolling dystopia almost.
Yeah.
And it's quite daunting to watch. So certainly the last 2 years watching sort of especially the likes of Facebook, where you now can't upload a regular video to Facebook. Yet you can only upload reels. And that's something they only just turned. Hi, mate. They only they only sort of did the full transition recently, when they turned off the ability to upload normal videos. But it's making it very difficult as a content creator to do certain things which you wanted to do. So I had planned, there was a little video which I'd edited and it was going to go on to Facebook, but now because I can't upload it as a video, it will never see the light of day because it doesn't fit in with the YouTube channel as something to go on there. And it was with Bahamas. It's a loco I've had very good luck with over the years. I've filmed it in scorching heat. I've filmed it in snow, rain, fog. So I was going to do sort of the all-weather Jubilee, little 4-clip video of the various weathers I've filmed the loco in over the years. So it doesn't fit in with the YouTube channel so well. But now I can't upload that as a little video on Facebook either. So sort of at the moment it's shelved.
Yeah.
But
I think it would fit to a degree because it's just telling the story of a loco through all the 4 seasons, and it's not. It kind of in a way doesn't fit with like what you are currently doing through the YouTube and that, but it's like an alternative.
yeah.
I think so. I think it could be ideal for it.
It might be sort of the kind of catalyst that ends up with me making a second channel in a couple of years. Just the whole then those kind of videos might appear on there. But I have enough issues running the one channel, let alone running the second one.
Yeah, or just you can always do it like as an alternative playlist. So you can have an alternatives playlist. So not your the normal like the galas and that you go to. Then you've got your little alternative stuff. So
Because I don't make any secret of the fact that in terms of, I've got no issues talking about the financials of the channel. I won't say an exact figure, but per month, my channel tends to earn roughly the value of a tank of diesel, which is handy because I burn about 5 or 6 doing the hobby every month.
Yeah.
So it's nice that one of them is technically for free.
Yeah.
But then go into the analytics, and it does tend to be sort of the compilations and, for some reason, my Romney Hythe and Dymchurch videos that do get the most views every month. They don't stagnate, they do just keep going. And so it does sort of lend itself to, okay, well, those kind of videos then, the compilations and sort of the less state-specific stuff keeps the channel afloat. because it keeps a little bit of money coming in, which I then immediately put back into the next day trip.
Romney Hythe and Dim Chase.
Yeah.
I've got a video of Yoshi at Romney Hythe, which I've never posted yet, so that's going up in the next week.
I don't even know how to describe it or why it does it, but typically when I do a date stamp video, the analytics on it is it will do really well for 2-3 days and plateaus completely. Fair enough, you know, the date's passed and people might not go back and look at it. Absolutely fair enough. Romney Hythe tends to start slower and then just keeps going on a steady gradient, and I'm why? But every single one of my Romney videos has done it. I'm not going to complain because it keeps the channel turning over.
No,
so.
exactly. I mean, it's like what you're saying. It's just, I mean, on my channel, I'm monetized as well, and I'm via memberships as well, getting a monthly. It's not a lot, no, God no, but it goes back into the channel, you know. It might go out for another, it might go in for a day out, or to pick up a game.
So on that note, if you could like and subscribe,
please do.
Thank you.
Yes,
please.
like and subscribe. Railway Dogcast, The Southerner, hint Israel.
So we've known each other for so long, haven't
God,
we?
Yeah, it's just
Gosh.
goes back a while. There's a whole load of you that I knew, but then basically you're just the only one that stuck out. What I still see every night.
Yeah.
The last time I saw you, I don't think it was last year. It was
I know we saw each other at Yeovil.
That's the one where I fell down and screwed my knee.
Yeah.
Right in front of Francis as well. He was in the gallery as well on the turntable thing. Yeah, I did my knee in on that. But that was
Because funnily enough, I remember that day standing there at the turntable viewing section at Yeovil, and we were all waiting for the it was Clan Line, wasn't it?
Clan Line,
yeah,
that's it,
we were waiting for it to come towards the turntable, and all of us, because there was such a cold wind coming from behind as well. I was frozen. Everyone around me was frozen, and we were all just there, like, please, just come on, come on.
Yeah, it's a cloudy, cold, dampy sort of day, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And, it's actually the first time I've ever been to Yeovil, and it was a really nice sort of.
It's a nice little setup, isn't it?
It is.
I especially like what they've done inside the old goods shed with so much of the memorabilia around.
Yeah, I picked up a boxed Hornby 86 for
nice.
30 quid, and it's a nice little runner. It's turned out to be really well.
I've got one of my favourite railway paintings that I own has come from there as well. It's 257 Squadron sitting next to Portline on shed at Exmouth Junction. Beautiful painting. I bought it for £15. And I've since had a new frame made for it, but it was one of those of like, it's the two original the locos of Southern Locos Limited. I was like, I've got to get it. Yeah. And it's amazing what they.
I think they could do with putting their prices up a bit.
I'm not saying that.
Yeah. What do you consider to be your best YouTube video? Gosh, that will change per mood, that will. So I could. It depends on what also happened behind the scenes. Because, say, Strictly Bullied, the 2024 edition, I was happy with the result, even though it wasn't perfect, the video. I was very happy with the result because that was 72 hours of filming, a day of editing, and so getting to the end of that, I was happy with that. That was like, yes, I've done, the effort's worth it. But then I've had a couple of days where it's been like a quiet day at the Bluebell, and what I've got out of that, I've been very happy with. So it's very difficult, really, actually, to pin it down. I do think, sort of as a learning curve one, so the 2022 Clan Line on the Ace was the redemption, given the 2019 one I wasn't happy with. So to walk away from that day actually thrilled with what I'd got, I was, that one sat very, very nicely with me. But then same loco, but early 24s, the 50th anniversary Pullman, I've never seen a loco flatten Upton Scudamore Bank the way Clan Line did that day. And so, again, though the video itself, yes, it could have been sunnier, it could have been all these things outside of my control, but to actually be there and witness that helps sort of my view of the overall video of going, actually, I was really happy with that day because I got to witness it.
Yeah.
So it's very hard to pin it down, but from a sentiment sake, I don't think that I can speak against having a nice quiet day at Swanage. Normal timetable on early autumn day. There's just something nice about it not being a gala, not the rush, not the fighting for elbow space, but a quiet day where you've then got the flexibility of doing your shots as you want them done. And yeah, I say I can't tie it down, but the experiences of like things like that just help reaffirm certain videos as favourites. Because you look back at it and you go, yeah, no, that was a good day. That was a good day. And so equally, things that say do happen behind the camera. You have the days with your friends. I've made some wonderful friends through this hobby, and there are certain days. Okay, the video might not be the best, but it's a nice reminder of what happened behind the camera. To that end, sorry, I'm laughing in advance of a story which I know is going on up here at the moment. There was, I think it was the 2024 End of Southern Steam Tour, one of the End of Southern Steam Tours, where I was set up at Binkham, waiting for whichever merchant it was to lift the tour out of Weymouth. And I was standing there with a few friends of mine, and they got on to relaying a story to me about donuts, where they'd tasked one of their friends with going into a shop and buying donuts, and he had come out with apparently the wrong flavour. And they wanted my opinion on this. So he'd gone in, he'd come out with custard donuts. They hated custard donuts, didn't understand why he hadn't got jam. And then they were asking me for my opinion. And I was being staunchly rebellious and going, why would you put yourself in a position where you could only have the one pack? Why not get both? He's, no, but if you had to get one pack of donuts, which one are you getting? Like, there's only one on the shelf. You can only have one. What is it? And I was like, stop giving me hypothetical scenarios. I'd still buy a bag of each. This went on for over half an hour. And I even referenced it in the description of that video. It was like the Great Binkham Donut debate. because the clip itself that I'd been waiting for, I was very happy with. But memories like that from behind the camera helped me remember that day. And it makes that video more special to me because it's, oh yeah, I remember standing there with that debate and us all laughing like hyenas for over half an hour over donuts, of all things.
I love a donut.
Yeah.
Because I'll make himself peckish now.
Yeah. Next time, bring donuts.
Yeah. I'll remember that for the future.
Yeah.
Turn up at any railway location with a box of donuts ready to go.
There we go.
Gosh.
But no, custard and jam.
Custard and jam.
And probably some with sprinkles as well.
Mm-hmm. Make sure cater for everyone's preferences.
That's it, yeah.
Krispy
Kreme ones.
No one goes hungry in this parish. Top 3 preserved railways in your opinion and why? Oh, that is a tricky question.
A toughie.
That's a oh. Good one to close on there.
So some of this is also swayed not by the railway itself, but in terms of my experiences with it. I know there are a couple of people who will end up watching this who are going to find it very funny that I'm going to mention I struggle filming at the Severn Valley Railway. Love the railway, love its people, I love the infrastructure and the locos. I struggle to film there because typically, because of the line length, something will happen at one end of the line for the only time of day it will happen. At the same time, something's happening at the other end for the one time in the day it's happening, and you've got to make the decision of where you've got to be, which is very difficult sometimes. So, it is difficult to narrow it all down. I think I'd be betraying my own history if I didn't say that Swanage is in that list somewhere, for sentiment's sake, and as well for the people at the railway that I've grown very close to, and that I've worked very closely with over the years. It's given me so many good memories, and so many good friendships have come out of being connected to that railway. And as well, the videos that I've some days have walked away with. Swanage would have to be in that list. The other 2 slots, that's a very good question. Because again, it can very much depend. Like, I've had days down at the South Devon Railway where I had the auto pannier tank working with four auto coaches, 2 on each end, which was a very lovely day. But on the other side, say Dartmouth Steam Railway and its steep gradients and its picture postcard coast, it's very swaying. This is a harder question. This is a hard question. I'm going to put the Bluebell in that list. Again, I love the people who work there, and they've been very accommodating to me over the years. They've got a varied loco fleet, and it's just a lovely, quiet line. Swanage, I don't know if you found this as well. Wherever you go at Swanage, you're never far away from civilization. You can always hear cars in the background or something. I've got a PTS for Bluebell, and I have walked to the south end of Sharpthorne Tunnel. And apart from the occasional plane overhead, because it's near Gatwick, there are moments there where it's dead silent. There's no disturbance, no realm of believing that you are in the 21st century. And the fact that they can recreate that kind of thing it draws on me a lot. That if I want a quiet filming day away from the bustle of reality, then it's a nice way to disconnect, is do a day there. So I have to give some props for that.
There's 1 slot left.
Yeah. I think purely for the gala theatrics which they can pull, it would have to be the Romney Hythe. Have to be. Because the amount of times where I have stuck it out to the end of a gala there just for the multi-headers and the parallel runs and non-stop runs, I've had so much fun there over the years. And so yeah, from a sentiment point and from its infrastructure and just its unique value, it's got to be, for me, the Romney Hythe.
Good, I like those answers.
Yeah, good answers. What would your advice be to someone that's just starting out?
Ooh, the absolute basic tip that I could give is there is no substitute for experience. And the only way you're going to get experience is by going out and trying. Because the only reason I know the locations at Swanage as well as I have come to learn them is because of all the times I was in the wrong place and I saw someone else get the shot.
Yeah.
And then you remember for the next time. So for starting out, doesn't matter what you're filming on, doesn't matter about the equipment, it is go out and try it. Look at other people's stuff as well, take tips, take notes, and I'll say they've gone here, take a note of what the light's doing and what loco, if the loco is on the power, etc., because it's handy to know for the future. But go and try it, because it's the only way you then learn, okay, well that didn't work, so let's try something different next time, until you find the rhythm, you find stuff that works. So yeah, I'd say there's just no substitute for putting on the boots and getting out the door.
Yeah, exactly. And experience as well. As long and enjoy it. Enjoy it. enjoy what you're doing, because there's nothing worse than just like, oh, I don't want to do this, I don't like it, and just not having
The motivation.
Yeah. Because I found that a few times, but I just like, you've overcome it, because I still want to do I still love what I'm doing. Even just like, you know, sometimes when I think, oh my God, who are we interviewing this time? Oh God, we're interviewing Matt. Oh, we're interviewing Bessie. Like, my God, I've got to, you know, you've got to be on your game. You've got to love what you're doing. And even though if you sound nervous when you're filming it, or you know, whatever it is, you look nervous, just be yourself when you do it.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, that's what counts.
Yeah, I tell you, I've really loved this one.
Oh,
This
thank you.
has been great. I really loved chatting to you. It's been brilliant.
The other thing which I would say as well, and it's just away from YouTube completely. Don't let it be the only thing you do. Because doing this channel, say, where I've poured so much effort in at times over the years, it has at points sort of taken on being sort of the only thing I have done beside work and sleep. And when you've poured that much time into it, naturally your motivation wavers. You do start to go, you come home from your day job and then you're straight into doing another job, and it is such a labour. So I would say, when you are going into it, make sure it is not the only thing you can fall back on. I collect vinyl records, and so part of my downtime is I will like laptop off, sit down, listen to some vinyl. Actually, most of my Christmas present from my dad were vinyl records, nothing railway related, just vinyl, and I love it.
Yeah.
Because it means, okay, I've done my editing for today. I need to switch off, have something else to fall back on. Because if you do find yourself being swallowed up by this hobby, and it can in the social media side, you do not want to find yourself with nothing else to do, because it does it can just be very dominating otherwise. So yeah, just have something else.
Yeah, right, totally understand. Because you can, you know, doing something too much can cause burnout. And yeah, it's always good to have something different, or just, you know, just something, just take your mind off it.
Like a dog.
Like a dog.
Yeah.
Get yourself a dog.
Well, my partner's got 2 cats.
No, I don't think they'll like chasing trains.
No, they don't like chasing trains, but one of them is very hungry for attention. And whenever I'm in the house, he always is meowing at me and coming up to. He just likes to be picked up, loves belly rubs. I don't even think he's aware he's got claws. He's never scratched me. He just like lays there, looks at me, and just wants belly rubs. Oh. And it's just again like that nice little switch off of he'll just roll over and go. Yeah, for 5 minutes, this is now all I'm doing.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. Well, we will allow cats. It is fun. Yeah. Matt, thank you ever so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me. It's been lovely.
Yeah.
And I forgot about my tea.
I'll make you another.
I've been so caught up enjoying the conversation, I forgot. I've done the cardinal sin of letting a cup of tea go cold.
Damn it.
Damn.
Thanks for watching. See you next time.
Take care.
Oh, thank you very much. I love that.
Thank you.
Seriously, do you want another cup of tea?
Yes, please. Thank you.
This episode of the Railway Dogcast was recorded in January 2026. If you enjoyed it, please like and subscribe.